guys, what's going on, and welcome back to our channel. It's a scary thought, but our planet is full of substances that can kill us before we can figure out how to pronounce them. Some are so volatile they'll explode without even being touched, while some are so deadly that even a single gram is enough to kill 1 million people. So grab some protective eyewear and let's check out the world's most dangerous substances. Number 10. Ethylene glycol. This chemical may be familiar to you as antifreeze or the thing you put in your motor vehicles during winter times to prevent freezing of liquids that the machine needs to function correctly. If it gets into your body, it turns into glycolic acid. From there, it attacks our central nervous system and it messes up the pH balance of our body. All of that leads to a cytotoxic effect which ultimately kills all living cells. Ethylene glycol and EDO compounds are known to increase the risk of cancer development because it infects the immune system's infection-fighting cells, white blood cells.
The easiest way to get ethylene glycol is to simply look at the store for automotive antifreeze. And usually the cheaper stuff is the best kind of stuff to use.
Number 9. Dimethyl cadmium. This chemical compound is probably the most dangerous one that people have created so far. This molecule can wreak havoc as soon as it enters our bloodstream, and it doesn't surprise a lot of chemists who don't wish to work with it. Even the slightest amount of this substance will destroy a person's heart and lungs as soon as it enters their bloodstream. When it comes in contact with water, which our body is full of, it turns into dimethyl calcium peroxide. This compound is highly explosive. If someone survives the initial contact with this compound, it's most likely that they'll get cancer due to the compound's cancer-causing effects.
It is important to remember that all cadmium compounds are very toxic to people.
Number 8. Dimethyl mercury. Mercury alone is toxic for most of the living beings on the planet, and it becomes even more dangerous when paired up with two methyl groups, CH3. Dimethyl mercury can easily be absorbed into our bloodstream, where the toxicity of the compound can do some severe damage. The signs of damage to an organism do not appear immediately. Instead, they come later in the form of cognitive deterioration. The failure of the cognitive system leads to coma and eventually death.
Hearing before she slipped into coma. As expected, the amount of mercury found in her brain was 6 times that of the presence in blood.
Number 7. Azide. This substance is made of 14 nitrogens that are barely linked together. This creates a situation that goes by high energy conformation. Azide is so unstable that the compound immediately wants to move to a state of lower energy, which creates tremendous amounts of energy. Even the smallest change in pressure, temperature, or even just a short exposure to light will make this substance explode. Number 6. Botulinum toxin. Botulinum toxin is the most lethal poison known to man. An average 70-kilogram human being would only have to take around 100 nanograms of this poison to die. It has an LD50 of 1.5 to 2.0 nanograms per kilograms. If you put it in perspective, 1 gram of this toxin can kill more than 1 million people. What this toxin does chemically is prevent acetylcholine from being released between neuron connections. This breaks down the connections of neurons with muscle cells. This leads to muscle paralysis, as a contraction of the muscle cells cannot take place. If you take enough, the neuron toxins, which make the heart or respiratory systems work, go down, ultimately killing you. Funnily enough, this toxin is used in medicine. Botulinum toxin is commercialized under the name of Botox, among others. Number 5. Bodrusha toxin. This poison comes off the skin of some dart frogs. Specifically, Phyllobates terrible, or golden poison frog, is known for being one of the most dangerous poisonous animals in the wild. Interestingly, dart frogs don't make Bodrusha toxin by themselves. They need to ingest certain alkaloids through their diet. If they're kept in captivity, dart frogs are rendered non-poisonous. But in the wild, they make one of the most dangerous poison mixtures ever known to man. Dart frogs can only be found in Colombia or Panama rainforests, and they were used by indigenous tribes to make poisonous darts and arrows. That's where they get their name from.
Forest. They are the jewels of the rainforest in Central and South America, ruling over their predators like the king of the jungle. The bright colors of their skin can easily allure a devourer, but a drop of toxin from their poison can kill them within 3 minutes.
Number 4. Chlorine trifluoride. This substance was discovered by the Nazis in World War II. Better known as Substance N, this chemical is super volatile. It reacts with practically everything and can ignite even glass materials, sand, and unfortunately, people. Chlorine trifluoride is so reactive and unstable that even the Nazis couldn't transform it into a weapon. The Nazi Party initially intended to have their soldiers use it to melt through Allied bunkers, but after years of research, they determined that it was just too unstable. That's right, this chemical was too destructive for the Nazis. It's extremely volatile and will react explosively to just about anything. It's been known to set fire to grass, sand, rust, and of course, people. It can even cause asbestos, one of the most fire retardant substances in existence, to catch fire.
I then threw in an alcohol-soaked cotton ball for good measure.
Number 3. Fluoroantimonic acid. Fluoroantimonic acid is the strongest form of acid in the world. Ever heard of sulfuric acid? Well, it's about 10 quadrillion times stronger than that. The compound can eat through plastic and glass and could even melt the skin from your bones and still be hungry for more. The only way it can be stored is in Teflon containers, which are resistant to its corrosive effects. When studying it, scientists aren't even able to use normal glass beakers unless they dilute it by a factor of thousands. What's more, fluoroantimonic acid also reacts violently with water. Fun stuff. Number 2. Potassium cyanide. Potassium cyanide is a salt, but it's about as far from the kind you'd use to season your fries as possible. It's incredibly toxic and has gained notoriety for being the choice ingredient in suicide pills for spies and soldiers around the world. The nicest thing that can be said about it is that it offers a quick death. It disables cellular respiration, the process by which cells make energy, by inhibiting an enzyme that's essential in ATP production. ATP is the primary energy currency of the body, and the ability to make it is key to, well, living. Within a few minutes of consuming potassium cyanide, victims fall unconscious and then suffer brain death. Yikes.
Solution. You can see the copper-2 cyanide immediately decomposing to form extremely toxic cyanogen gas. This was just for curiosity and not something you should repeat.
Number 1. Thioacetone. The scent of this compound is so unpleasant that people just can't stand it. Back in 1889, a group of German scientists from Freiburg accidentally made the thioacetone compound, and the smell of it could be detected almost 0.3 miles away. It caused the people to vomit and eventually evacuate the town.
In 2013, there was a thiol leak in France. The non-toxic gas cloud traveled all the way from the French factory more than 200 kilometers away to London and was still potent enough to prompt a flood of emergency calls to Britain's national grid.
The world around us is made up of substances. We eat, drink, and breathe them every single day of our lives, and most of the time they're harmless, but this doesn't mean dangerous substances don't exist. Hope you found this video enjoyable, if not too scary, but either way, do leave us a like and subscribe to our channel if you want more videos like this in the future. And don't forget to catch up on those 2 other videos on your screen as well. Until next time, take care and goodbye.